Man, the fights so far have been awesome. Gozo did awesome like always, Ryan was an absolute monster, poor Kaneda seemed to draw the short straw with that Retsu guy, never seen martial arts that artful before, and Adam got his shit pushed in by that old Aikido guy. That one fight between the tall white guy and the ginger was weird though, like half of it took place on the fucking streets. Now I'm up, so this Yanagi guy better watch out. Okubo finishes grabbing something to eat and begins making his way back to the arena when all of the sudden, a Kama comes hurtling towards Okubo from behind. Being that his senses were heightened to their peak due to the adrenaline flushing through his system and the preparation for the match, Okubo was alert enough to notice the sound of the Kama spinning and cutting through the air behind him and duck the weapon hurled at his spine. That was pretty impressive. I was sure I was going to get you, King of Combat. Noticing the encounter, a crowd gathers, with, "Oh damn, it's a fight!" and "Somebody call the police!" being heard throughout. Yanagi, I take it? Guess you're like that ginger guy, right? You think just because I'm a combat athlete that I can't tussle in the streets? Perhaps? Or perhaps I just wanted to be able to use my toys! Yanagi swings his right-roped Kama diagonally upward towards Okubo's head, but Okubo ducks it and tries to close the distance and land a big right hand. Or it could be a little bit of both. Yanagi smiles and begins to rapidly swing both of his Kamas around him by the connecting rope, creating a 3D shield around him. Okubo slips backward to avoid being caught in the radius. You're a tricky little bastard, huh? That was close. He nearly got me. He doesn't seem the type to train ground grappling because of its inefficiency in street situations, so if I can just close the distance and get a takedown, it's over. But if I get tagged by one of those sickles... What's wrong, champ? My tools here making you nervous? Yanagi uses the momentum of the swinging to extend the left Kama outward towards Okubo and swing it downward. But Okubo sidesteps it and shoots in for another takedown, only to have to sharply sway backwards as Yanagi swings around the right Kama, nearly sending it careening into the side of Okubo's skull, barely slashing his face in the process. You're out of your element. This isn't a match with a referee and rules. This isn't a well-lit arena or caged-off area. And I'm not some unarmed fool that's consensually agreed to meet with you to fight, to give you time to prepare. This is real combat. And out here, I'm the king. Shut the fuck up, jackass! Okubo attempts to dart straight down center line and avoid any oncoming attacks as they happen, closing the distance before Yanagi gets the chance to create his shield. But Yanagi detaches one of the Kama from its rope and hurls it into Okubo's right leg sideways. Don't lose your temper. You're prone to make fatal errors. You sure do like to yap, don't you? Damn it, this is bad. My mobility's shot now, and his remaining scythe is even faster now. I'm not sure I can close the distance with just a shoot anymore, but maybe if I mix up some feints I can take him down, or at least get him close enough for a golden 8 seconds. The guy looks like he'd crumble like dashi candy if I could just get a couple good licks in. Yanagi opens his mouth to begin to speak, but Okubo takes the opportunity to take a large lunging step and low-kick Yanagi's leg before he can react. Okubo follows with a right hook, continues the combo into an overhead, and finishes it off with a huge uppercut. Eyes, nose, mouth, and even ears leaking blood, Yanagi recovers himself and wraps the rope around himself for a close-range Kama swing. But Okubo tries to keep up the pressure with a counter tackle that he tries to feint into a strike, but had to dodge when he realized the range had been shortened, and he almost dove straight into the path of the swinging Kama. Realizing that this was a game of attrition that he was losing since Okubo seemed to figure him out, how to fight his Kama, and how to compensate for his leg injury, Yanagi went for a Hail Mary. He sent the Kama straight out towards Okubo, but Okubo ducked it once again. Yanagi tries to throw the Kama from a horizontal swing as a distraction to attack himself, but Okubo ducks it as well, and without ever breaking direct line of sight of Yanagi, prepared for any surprise attacks he'd try to launch after sacrificing his weapon. Huh. No more toys? Well, what's a handyman to do without his tools of the trade? Shut up! You think a martial artist of my caliber is only an expert in armed combat? As Yanagi spoke, Okubo rushed in and began to unleash a flurry of palm strikes onto Yanagi. Rule number 1 of combat sports: save the gum flapping for after the fight. Okubo tried to finish the fight with a 1-2 strike, But as he launches his jab, Yanagi lurches forward with a shout of desperation and strikes Okubo's face. Okubo gets slashes across his face, but calms himself and assumes his orthodox stance. Too easy. It's like you athletes don't have object permanence or something. It never occurred to you that I'd lie? That I had a hidden weapon and sacrificed the one I was holding plainly to give you a false sense of security? Yeah, alright. Fair enough. You got me. Now, it's done. I'm not gonna drop my guard again, and I'm not gonna let some loser that has to use weapons to fight look down on the hard work and spirit that goes into training your body and mind to compete on the world stage, or even in any barehanded competition. What? Because I use any tool available to me instead of limiting myself for no reason, I'm not a true martial artist? You're all the same. Whether it's traditional martial artists or sport athletes, you only seem to care about some imaginary sense of honor, and that's why you'll always lose to someone like me. Someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to win. Yeah, you done? Because once you run out of weapons, we'll see who's really right. Okubo closes the distance instantly and fires off a left hook, smashing Yanagi's face. Gotta find a chance to go for the golden 8 seconds. Just a half second to inhale without getting immediately countered, and this is over! And then Okubo sees it. An opportunity for a takedown. If he can land it, he can use the golden 8 seconds from the full mount and finish the fight. He continues the onslaught with an elbow strike, finally shoots in for the takedown, and gets it, as Yanagi has little idea of how to stuff the chute of a heavyweight MMA world champion. And Okubo finally secures the mount. Okay, now! Okubo starts to inhale for the golden 8 seconds, but as he does, from the bottom, Yanagi, at blinding speed, places his palm over Okubo's mouth. Okubo attempts to deeply inhale, but Yanagi uses vacuum palm, which knocks Okubo out instantly. Yanagi rises to his feet and smugly smirks down onto Okubo's unconscious body. Typical combat athlete, thinking the fight is all over once he gets the mount. I don't know much ground fighting because I don't need it. If someone takes me down, I'll carve them up. If they mount me, I'll use vacuum palm. If they try to lock my joint, I'll perish. Sirens are heard in the background. The block is being cornered off by the police, but the 3 men are being left alone at the behest of a very powerful man, a man with great authority. But wait, 3 men? Yes, Okubo is there, alive but unconscious. Yanagi is there, the narrow victor of their encounter. But who's the third? Ah, I've heard of you. Of course I have. Not a martial artist in Japan's underground world hasn't heard of you. I was going to try to avoid you until I could kill you in your sleep or at some other vulnerable point, but judging by your face, it would seem you came here looking for him and found me, which means I may have stepped on some undue toes while unprepared. Isn't that right, Fifth Fang of Metsudo? Agito stands before the scene with an overflowing intent to kill. Yanagi, sensing that this isn't a fight where weapons would make any difference, quite possibly actually hindering him instead, uses a Benda strike on Agito without a moment's delay. Agito's pre-initiative alerts him to the attack, but the speed at which the attack happens from initiation to impact was too fast to avoid, so he attempted to block it while moving for an attack, but the pain of the attack stopped him dead in his tracks. You may conceal it well, but your face belies you, Fang. That hurt, didn't it? Quite considerably, right? More than any other strike you've experienced, perhaps? That's because that strike hurts no matter how tough your body is. The same kind of pain that causes the body to shut down. Think about it. That pain is so great that the human mind, after contemplating how much life it has left, how great life could be beyond this pain, still decides to throw it all away and end it all because it can't handle the pain. That's the pain I can inflict in every strike, and it can't be blocked or dodged. Not even acknowledging what Yanagi said, nor dignifying it with a response, Agito darts forward, launches a knee strike that completely shatters Yanagi's jaw, follows with a leg kick that completely breaks Yanagi's leg, presses forward with a straight right, and finishes Yanagi off with a face-shattering hook strike. I don't have to worry about your strikes if I destroy you. Come on, Okubo. We're gonna get you to Dr. Hanafusa and Dr. Kureha. They'll fix you. You're gonna be okay. Fight conclusion. Due to Ryuukou Yanagi's being disqualified for breach of rules, and Okubo Naoya's sustaining injuries considered too severe to continue, including severe hypoxia, this round is to be considered no contest. Special thanks to everybody who voted on the Reddit poll on r/GrapplerBaki and r/Kengan Ashura. This fight went through a lot of rewrites because of how fun but dangerous it was, with Okubo being a better fighter in every conceivable way by a wide margin except for maybe attack speed, in which they're more comparable. But Yanagi had the street fight experience home field advantage, he ambushed Okubo, he had weapons, and Way of the Void is almost always a one-hit kill or knockout. Some of the rewrites included Okubo winning the fight via armbar, something we've seen Yanagi lose to before, Okubo being killed by the poison hand, and even Jirota showing up with Kano, fighting Yanagi so that he didn't damage Agito before his fight, and eventually succumbing to poison hand related injuries after defeating Yanagi, either knocking him out or killing him with a throw. But I wanted to give a special shout out to Sayorla the Surly on my Discord, who talked things through with me and helped me with the rewrites when I expressed some apprehensions about killing off Okubo. The ending I got was actually different than the one we decided on, but this ending just kind of evolved naturally as the fight progressed. In the writing of the script and the search for manga panels to use and splice together, I realized that Okubo could take down Yanagi, that I had the panels for a mount, and that from the mount, Yanagi could use Vacuum Palm. Hell, even the interaction between Golden 8 Seconds and Vacuum Palm was a last-minute inclusion that happened as I was writing the fight. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or if you're enjoying the series and are hyped for the official anime crossover for Baki and Kengan, and comment down below on what you thought of the fight, and what you guys think is going to happen for the next fight, Matobe vs Chiharu. Next video is going to be another Styles Explained video, so be on the lookout for that one. This has been Kengan Maximum, I've been Red Fox, the YouTuber, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.